Welcome to the 12-Minute Leadership Podcast, where in 12 minutes or less, I'll share small things that you can put into immediate practice that will make a big difference in your leadership effectiveness. I'm your host, Elise Boggs-Morales, leadership professor, consultant, and coach. For the last 17 years, I have helped thousands of leaders level up their influence and achieve remarkable results. If you want to trade compliance for true commitment and create your dream team, you are in the right place. Get ready for a quick hit of practical wisdom to increase your team's engagement, inspire top performance, and retain your best talent. Ready to level up your influence and get better results? 12 minutes starts now. Hi everyone, Elise here. Welcome back to the podcast. Over the last few episodes, we've talked about leadership flags. First, we talked about orange flags, which are the early warning signs leaders shouldn't ignore. And last week, I talked about green flags, the underrated indicators of strong leadership potential. And today, I want to close out this series with a different kind of flag, white flags. Not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of surrendering the things that quietly limit our leadership. In my own leadership in life, I have finally come to realize that some of the biggest leadership breakthroughs don't come from trying harder, they come from letting go. So today, I want to share 5 white flags. 5 things great leaders eventually learn to surrender if they want to scale, empower others, and build healthy and high-performing teams. So let's get started. White flag number 1, surrendering control over how something gets done, aka micromanagement. This is a big one. If the objectives and the parameters are clear, but you still feel the need to control how everything gets done, that's a bottleneck. Great leaders learn to set the destination, define what the guardrails are, and then get out of the way. When you allow capable people who have proven competency to own the how, a few powerful things happen. First, creativity increases. They may think of a better way of doing things that you've never thought of. Their sense of ownership and engagement increases. Capability multiplies, and you stop being the ceiling. If someone has proven competency, give them freedom within clarity. Find that a lot of leaders go one extreme or the other. They're either micromanaging or they give a lot of freedom without the clarity, and then they wonder why it didn't work out. So be sure to give them freedom within clarity. Let them try a better way. Let them surprise you. Let them grow. White flag number 2, surrendering the need to speak first. Many leaders don't realize how much their position and authority shape the room and shape the conversation. If you always share your opinion first, you are unintentionally anchoring the conversation in a specific direction, and you narrow the range of ideas, and you quietly shut down the contributions. This is one of the biggest pieces of constructive feedback that I see when I facilitate 360s for leaders. Sometimes leaders do it unintentionally, thinking that they're the leader. That's what they're supposed to do, is set the direction. Also, some leaders really don't want the contributions of others. They just want to get things done and keep them moving. But when you're looking at long-range creativity and diversity of ideas and the best ideas to be put forth, along with the engagement and ownership that comes with contribution, it's important to keep this surrendered flag, white flag in mind. Because people don't disagree with the boss as often as we think they do. Once you set direction, it's harder to push back. So try this instead. Ask first, listen first, and let others shape the thinking before you weigh in. You're going to get better ideas, more engagement, and far more ownership. If you've been wondering why everybody's not engaged in your meetings, try holding back before you give your opinion to give them an opportunity to step up. Remember that leadership isn't about being the smartest voice in the room. It's about drawing out the collective intelligence of the room. White flag number 3, surrendering the need to always have the answer. This one is especially hard for high performers. Many of us leaders were promoted because we are decisive, we're capable, we had the answers. But as leaders, our job shifts. If you always give the answer, people become dependent. critical thinking weakens, and leadership capacity doesn't grow. Great leaders ask, what do you think? What options do you see? What are the pros and cons? And what would you try first? Questions develop people. Answers just solve problems. Your job as the leader is not to be the hero. Your job is to build heroes. A nice bonus payoff of doing things this way, you can go on vacation knowing that you have created a capable team of good decision makers. White flag number 4, surrendering the desire to replicate yourself. Wouldn't it be great to have a bunch of mini-me's? This one is subtle and incredibly important. Many leaders unconsciously, and it's usually unconsciously, promote people who think like them, communicate like them, work like them, and see the world like them. And it does feel easier, and it often feels in the moment more efficient. But what it does is it creates blind spots, groupthink, and fragile leadership systems. The strongest leadership teams I've worked with are diverse in gender, in age, in culture and background, in strengths, and in personalities. Yes, it's messier, but the quality of decisions is dramatically better. I've seen this firsthand working with diverse stakeholder and executive groups where consensus had to be built across very different perspectives. The conversations were harder, but the outcomes were far stronger and more sustainable. Homogeneous leadership teams feel efficient, but diverse leadership teams are effective. And finally, white flag number 5, surrendering the need to be right and to be surrounded by yes people. This is something I see a lot and what gets leaders into the most trouble. When leaders need to be right or surround themselves with people who always agree or punish dissent even subtly, they lose truth, challenge, innovation, and early warning signals. The best leaders don't want agreement, they want good decisions. And good decisions require honest challenge, different perspectives, and the psychological safety to speak up. Your job is not to protect your ego. Your job is to protect the quality of decisions and the health of the organization. So, in closing, let me leave you with this reflection. Which of these white flags might you need to wave this year? Control over the how, speaking first, always having the answer, cloning yourself, needing to be right? Because leadership isn't about holding tighter, it's about letting go of the things that limit others. And the leaders who scale the furthest, build the healthiest cultures, and create the greatest impact are the ones who know what to hold and what to surrender. If you've enjoyed this flag series, I'd love to hear from you. And if this episode was helpful, share it with another leader who's ready to lead at the next level. I'll see you next time. Like what you heard on today's episode and want to go deeper? Subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also pick up my book, Lead Anyone, on Amazon. Then, go to my website to check out ways that we can support your leadership goals. From executive retreats to customized training and coaching, my team of experts will help you level up your leadership and accelerate your results. Go to www.eliseboggs.com for more info.